It's almost there.
Is anyone out there? I know that you're out there, Violet, and that's all that matters. But when our friends join us, that'll be wonderful too.
Yep, I'm here. I'm here. I'm going to post a little message for anyone that comes in.
All right. Thank you.
Hello and welcome. Let's do a, we don't need that echo. I'm going to copy this and put it over in the Art of Streams.
Oh, hey, Anne. I'm so glad you're here,
Hi, Anne, right at the beginning.
especially while I'm coming back and I need my friends around me after I've been out for a minute. We'll have a little powwow before we get started while we wait. Oh, Diane's trying to come in.
There's Diane.
There she is. Hi, Evie.
Hi,
Hi,
Evie.
Diane. How is everyone? Are we ready to do something magical together? You finishing up the dishes? Yeah. I didn't even do mine today. I've just been walking around like a lump. Like since I've been sick, it's just been taking me forever to heal. Hi, Julie. Oh, you're going to church. Can't stay. Well, oh, hey, Gigi. When you come back, Julie, you can make these into prayer cards. So don't think that they have to. I'm just calling them oracle cards. Just so you know that. That's just what I titled them. They're not really. They're a personal journey of growth and mindfulness together. How's that sound?
Hi, Julie. Hi, Jenny.
So Jenny is Gigi. Um,
Oh, cool.
yeah, and I've known Gigi for ages. Or verse cards, very good, Julie, because it's a personal sort of journey, and I'm only going to. The plan is when we get these started, and if it's okay with Violet, we could go over and share them in the art of the streams with one another for anybody that wants to share and share quotes or mindfulness thoughts or whatever it is that they're going to, that they want to share that they're putting on their cards. And, we can go through them as a group together. So,
Yay.
and kind of work on them independently. Everybody's different. We all love different things. We all have different belief systems. Really, it all comes from the same place, I think, inside. So,
Yeah, when you're arting like this, it comes from the heart.
and don't we all need some mindfulness right now? I do.
I don't know. I don't want to mind.
Okay, let me reword that.
Sounds too much like I have to behave. I don't want to behave.
Gigi, we are doing. I'm calling them oracle cards, but they're more like a personal journey cards. So it helps us through our days or through our week or through our, um, not just decorating them, but thinking about the actions involved that might make us act in our life and change things we'd like to change or grow where we'd like to grow. And that can be, you know, we're going to talk about it. I'm going to give some suggestions. Yes, positive affirmations. I actually wrote down a few things here, and I would love it if oh, everybody say hello to Violet. I didn't do that. I'm sorry. Evie, you can do any size you want, and we will get to that because I have some suggestions for substrates. But should we start by reading these cards right here? Let's let's do that. We have enough people here to do that. What do you think, Violet?
Okay,
Okay.
I'm all
Um,
ears.
I'm going to go full screen so they can see the artwork on these cards and it might inspire them and give them some ideas.
Absolutely.
I also would like to say that, whatever you're into at the moment, say I'm working with alcohol inks a lot lately, or if you're into Zentangle, or if you want to use up some scrapbook paper, or you can do this in whatever style you'd like. But the goal will be to make them flat and shuffleable. So think about that, and then we'll get into some substrates that might make that work for you.
Okay, so I want to say hi to Carol because I always love it when she joins us. The Magical Touch Studio. Hi,
Oh, hey,
Carol.
Carol. How are you?
Go for it.
Oh, are you there?
Yeah, you
Oh,
could take me
no.
off screen. I'm okay with that. There
Oh,
you
hold
go.
on a moment, guys. Oh, I was, Violet, are you there? Goodness me. I hit the wrong button, I think. Violet, I can't hear her.
There you go.
There we go.
Ah,
I was just trying to go single screen there.
yeah, you took me off instead of single screen.
Give me a minute. I don't know why I've lost your volume there, Violet. Bye, Julie. Have a great day. We'll see you all later.
Me, so there you go. Are you okay? Don't touch anything.
Okay, there we go. We're there. We're there.
Okay. Now, don't unmute my mic. That's what you did. One, two, don't put me backstage. Just go down and click on the solo screen for you. There you go.
Okay. Goodness. That was nuts. Well, I think my mouse is being funky too. I was having to hit it twice, and then, it just happens. It happens. Okay,
Okay.
we're all back now. We know how.
Yep. Now
We know
let's see. You're a
it's
magician.
funny.
You made me disappear. That's what Diane says. Julie has to
Yes.
go. See you all later. She's thinking of making a memory verse cards from the scripture. That sounds
Oh,
cool.
that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Because whatever helps you through and makes you have mindfulness, because that's what it's about, really. And whatever your belief system. Um, yeah, so I've been gone for a month, and some of you may not know, I had COVID, and apparently I forgot how to run StreamYard in that month. Not really. I don't know what my problem is. Okay, so we're going to read these and look at the artwork on here because they're beautiful. The first one is limitless. And it says, see yourself open to receive in the most miraculous way. The divine can use anything and anyone. Isn't that cool? And I thought it just fits for today. Isn't that a neat picture? It's hands holding butterflies all the way around a kaleidoscope. And this one says allowing. Radical acceptance says yes to reality in any given moment so what's needed can come next. Isn't that a perfect card? What do you think? Those are perfect words. And the last one chosen, and isn't that a cool picture? It just goes to show that anything goes. Guidance. When you make divine intelligence your foundation, you finally have a fixed star to follow. Whatever your divine intelligence is, I think together as friends, as a group, we can all grow. So that is why we're here, right? Isn't that why we do what we do? It's why I do what I do.
To grow.
to grow. Yeah.
I figure I'm going to do it anyway. I'm just going to have fun along the way.
Right. Well, and I just don't want my butt to grow bigger.
Okay, new image in my head. Okay.
Because I got to be able to get through the doorway.
Right. The good
So
thing about doorways is we know how to widen them.
I can always turn sideways. I'm flat like.
Yeah, there you go.
So there's a couple things you're going to need. One, and first of all, will be your substrate. And that can be anything from an old deck of cards, an ugly deck of cards. I've got a suggestion about the back because if you're like me, you might not like to do the same thing over and over and over again. You might get sick of looking at those. And I have a really cool suggestion you're not going to even believe. You won't believe it. This is giant playing cards. I just didn't have enough of those, but I did kind of a practice piece and I let that show through there. And it's just a stencil on there. So this can be as simple or as crazy as you want it to be, as long as it's flat. You could choose a theme even and say use up a pack of Alice in Wonderland stickers or use an old magazine that's all in the same style. Or I am going to use gel plate prints. And for those of us who have gel plates and that we use those, I think that's a great use for them because people are always like, what do you do with them? And this is a great way to do that and to make a personal deck. Here are some, I did a bit of playing and realized I was going to dislike doing the same cards over and over and over again. On the back, this is the back sides. And I think I'm going to be doing my backs last because what I can do when I'm finished, that's just the sample set, is take them out back, lay them all out on a tarp, get some spray paint, lay some lace over it, and ta-da! It's spray paint and lace. That's it. I did, you can gesso them or you can start with a flat coat, but that's a copper and white and some black on lace. There's a turquoise one. And these were ugly cards with cougars on them and they were like new. So they were really shiny. If it is a new deck, I recommend if you're going to be gluing stuff on there and whatever, it wouldn't hurt to touch it with a little bit of sandpaper or at least some gesso. What do you think of that, Violet, with the spray paint?
Yeah, I definitely. Well, Anne just posted, has anyone ever painted the back of cards? I have not used spray painted, she said. I have never thought to use spray paint on anything.
Well, I used to do
Right, exactly,
furniture
Anne.
a lot with spray paint, and that's how this came about because I have a sample piece here. I actually have this paper that I did a long time ago, and it was only because I laid out some paper and I was doing a tabletop. So I had all these rolls of paper laid out, and I laid the lace out, and this was what was on the edges right here. Do you see that?
Cool.
It's got a really cool feel. It doesn't smell like spray paint. And this was 10 years ago. This is like the only piece I have left. I sent you some of this, by the way. And you can find lace at, like a lace curtain panel or something at a garage sale. It's that time of year, or a secondhand store to do this with. And then I just use that same piece of lace over and over and over again. I have furniture with this on it in my house. But what a great way to do like 20 cards at the same time and, make them all the same. Maybe I won't choose these colors. This is where I did use this paint first on the gel plate, laid all the cards out, and then took them downstairs and finished them off with some spray paint. It almost looks like lizard skin. Do you guys see that?
Wow. Yeah. Hold on. We have, hi, Janet. Welcome, welcome. We have
Hey,
from Diane says,
Darcy
um,
and Janet.
Diane says, I have a refillable spray can which allows me to wash out and add any of my paints. I need to dig that out
Oh,
of storage. Absolutely, Diane. Dig that out and
good
have some fun.
idea.
And
Yeah,
let's see what you do. Uh,
good idea.
Darcy has to approach an employee to unlock the
Well,
cabinets to get to spray paints or golden paints at stores. So
oh, yeah.
they're getting
Well, I
funny.
mean, eh, but it's not that hard, and spray paint's not expensive. And I always keep spray paint around for other things too, because I do big stuff too. So you can, I mean, you can do this on your gel plate and do them all at once, or do 9 cards at a time if you've got an 8x10 gel plate. But honestly, it's so much quicker because it takes several coats to cover a shiny card. If it's a nice dull card, that's fine. It might not take as much paint, but you can take your stencils down and use them with spray paint. Just know that, it depends on what kind of paint it is, how hard it'll be to get off your stencil, or it might just peel right off in one. And you can also mix together, like I said,
Uh,
this is this paint plus some copper spray paint.
Jelly plate. Yes, you can do, if you have a large jelly plate, you can just lay them
Yes.
all down. I've seen Sharon do that. And the other option is it's like creating a master board. So
Yes.
if you don't have cards, but you do have a big piece of cardboard or
Yes.
chipboard, like a big cereal box, you can lay that down and maybe if you want, gesso it first and then just, lay your stencils all over and spray paint through that and then cut it up after the fact.
You do want to you absolutely can do them in bulk, and if you choose like 3 colors and 3 stencils, they don't have to be exactly the same, all of them, because as long as you can't tell when you look on the back side what ones they are, if you want randomness to come to you, if you're going to shuffle through them and pull some, or if you're just going to make these and have mindfulness while you're doing it, that's different. But if you're going to actually shuffle them and go through them, say next year, and you want something to make you feel happy in your day, and you turn that over, you want to not know what's on the other side when you do it. Does that make sense? That's
Yeah,
the
I love what you did there. I love those.
oh
What I've decided to do, because I know I showed you my cards that I was going to use, but pretty much I changed my mind because they're all slick and I don't feel like sitting here at this table and sanding and cleaning up the sanding mess. Um, I had made some tags by gluing together a couple old book pages,
oh
which
yeah, yeah, you can do that as long
I
as they're stiff enough to take
exactly.
whatever you're going to put on there. So you can use these and just, I mean, they don't have to be this size or this shape. You could do round, you
Yep.
could, coin shaped. Yeah, anything you can shuffle, anything that's stiff enough, and anything you can shuffle. If you bought these cards, these tags, you don't even have to trim them down and make them card size. You could keep them with the hole, keep them on the ring, or if you have a Rolodex thing that has the turn that turns, you could literally turn to your random card. That would be fun, but I don't have one of those. So,
Right, me neither.
yeah. So we can do these as detailed or crazy as we want, and they could be simple. Either way. I'm going to show you what I have in the box here. So I want everybody to start a box, or at least a little basket to put next to their recliner or next to their bed or wherever it is that they watch TV, because maybe you'll have inspiration strike. Oh, and I'd like to say, what an awesome hop. I did not get through the whole thing yet, but I am almost done with it, and I was amazed. I I was blown away. Did you get to watch any of that yet?
Not yet.
Oh, it was just so good. There was a lot of assemblage stuff too. It
I'm
was
looking forward
exciting.
to it.
Yeah. It was just really great. It always blows my mind. If you guys don't know what we're talking about, over at PM Artist Studio,
Yep.
there's a monthly collaboration. I mean, I think everybody here knows and is part of PM Artist Studio. But if you're new or just happen across this video, go check it out. You can find my contribution for each month on this channel. And then if you follow the box at the end, if you're just randomly popping by, you might check that out and, connect to all those other artists. It's great. It's kind of an art show that happens once a month. It's great. Okay. So you're going to need a notebook. You're going to need some cards, and you don't have to do them all at once. I'm going to do my backs at the end. I decided it's in case I get ink on the back, or, in case, I leak around the edges, or for whatever reason, I just decided that I'm going to do my backs last. We're going to want some tissue, and I've got tissue that I have pulled on the gel plate, and it's little scraps. So I've got that here. I'm going to show you this box real quick.
Sharon, would it be okay if I put the link in for the very first, for the collab?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. There's the intro to the collab by Patricia and Mariah, and all the links, all the participants. If you look down in the description, you'll see a link to each of the participants.
Prescriptions.
Sharon, yeah, prescriptions, including Sharon and APG Jamie and Diane and Judy P and
Darcy,
Kylie Koo and Leanne and Two Old Crows, Peg and Two Old Crows.
I think Carrie did it last month.
Sonia from Artsy Solutions.
Yeah. It's a great group of ladies, really.
Darcy.
So much variety too.
Michelle from Michelle Mixed Media. So yeah, I would say go watch them because they're really, really, really great artists on there. I get so jealous.
Much inspiration in one hop too.
I agree.
For every type and style of project that you like to do. So much inspiration. It doesn't matter, even if you don't do that specific kind, you might find something, anything in that video, and they're really short videos too. They're more show and tell for each of the product or projects. You might find inspiration to help you with your own journey. So, okay, so I have some envelopes in here. And I did add some really thin old book pages and some places with lines in case I want to add those. So this is going to go in the box next to my recliner. I have this that I've started, and I'm going to put some little patterned magazine bits in. Here's an idea, some stickers. These actually came from Carolyn, who sent me the rusting powder all the way from Canada this last month.
Wow.
Did those stickers, and these are a great way to cover a card. You don't have to, if you do this and have them done ahead of time, then you don't have to sit and paint your card. There's an idea. Let's see. That's an empty envelope for whatever I want to add. And that one is empty as well. So I'm putting this in there. I have a bunch of tissue paper that I've alcohol inked. It could be paint, could be a napkin, a collection of them, could be, whatever's thin enough to decoupage down, because we're not going to want any edges to get caught when we shuffle our cards. If you want to make 3D cards, do that too. You don't have to shuffle your cards. That's up to you, because it's a personal thing. So I have some tea bag wisdom here. So you're going to want a place for quotes. Here was a quote that I pulled out of a book that I liked. Here's my little tea bag quotes. If you are a digital printer, if you print digital kits, print them on some tissue paper or some thin, this is like a thin old graph paper, because those are nice and thin to collage down. Antique magazines are extra thin for this. These are stickers that I printed on.
Decorative napkins.
Napkins are perfect for this, as long as you end up with a smooth finish at the end.
Right.
And that's another thing that, there are several ways to go about doing that and to seal your project. So if you're finding that you have more texture than you'd like, then you go with a varnish sealer or a high gloss sealer, something that'll make it slicky, even a spray sealer. These
And
are
the reason for that is
because you want them to glide across each other nicely. If you're shuffling, this is not a deck, obviously. These were examples that I had. But if you want that to happen and you want them to shuffle, even if you just shuffle them like this, you don't want them to get caught and tear on one another.
right.
So, if they're smooth, you don't need to seal them. But if they're not smooth, some of them might need a quick coat over them. It could be Mod Podge, even. Oh yeah, Diane said she got some fabulous ideas from the hop again. Hey, Margalo.
Hey,
Oh,
Margola.
I'm glad you got to watch that. Margalo's my neighbor.
Oh,
She lives a little town over, and we have threatened to meet up in the park over in her little town when I've been on a trip, on a road trip with Bill. And she actually bought one of my journals, and I sent her she's not on Facebook. That's why you guys might not know her.
yeah.
But I sent her a kit, and she sent me a little video of how she used that kit with the journal, like a little freebie. These are stickers that I have here. And like I said, Alice in Wonderland stickers. Those I thought were perfect. It's a great way to use your stickers, by the way. If you have stickers or old books or, these are transfers, which I really like these rub-on transfers. They're great designs. And a notebook to write down things that make you think or things that you want to add to a card. Seems like a lot, but this is it's just a great way to get started. And once we get started, you'll understand why you might want a variety to choose from. Anyway, all right. So, does everybody understand kind of? I mean, we've been wanting to try this for a little while, and I'm sorry I couldn't do it last month and get started when we were supposed to.
Well, I had COVID 2 years ago, and I think I still struggle with COVID fog. So,
Oh,
yeah, I understand.
it's been rough.
What do
Seriously.
I tell you? I tell you, be kind to yourself.
Yeah. Well, and I push myself. I try to I go too hard too often, and I ended up with 2 different infections from it afterwards. And one of the results of that is going to have to go have some teeth removed next week. Because or the week after that, hopefully. My consultation is next week, but I ended up with an infection in my jawbone from a tooth that broke.
Yep.
And now they want to take all these teeth out all of a sudden. And so, that was a lasting result from COVID. I mean, it probably would have happened eventually had I not gone to the dentist, but come on, right? Oh, Darcy, you still have a cough? Oh my goodness.
I
Oh,
did. I did for the longest time, and it's much much better now. But then I'm here alone most of the time, and I hardly ever talk, so it really doesn't get aggravated a lot.
well, if I didn't
Talking,
talk to
you
my
know.
dog so much.
Well, I do talk to the wall, but not loudly, and it's not a conversation. It's just I talk to the walls.
Do you have a pet, Violet?
I had 2 black labs that passed away just before COVID,
Heartbreaking.
about 6 months apart, and it was very hard. We had them for 14 years, both of them.
Oh,
So,
so
and
hard.
they were like support dogs for when I was at home, and when I go out,
Oh.
Russ is my support dog. So,
Do
although
you
I'm
tell
getting
him that? Does he know that?
well, he's sitting right there and he can hear everything, so I guess. So. Um, But the
Oh,
thing is I'm going out more and more by myself. So I'm getting there.
yeah.
I'm working on it. But yes, I did have two dogs, and they were for almost 15 years, and they were, yep, I miss them, still miss them. Hence the reason I talk to the wall.
I I had to put my healer down that was 15 this last year. And boy, that was hard. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And
Do I
before that,
pet him every opportunity? Oh, you mean Ross? Oh, yes.
yeah, I hope so.
Yeah. The word I use is stroke. I stroke him, and by that I mean never mind. I'm getting
That
bad. I didn't mean that. I didn't
is
mean.
enough. Oh,
Yeah. Well, it's her fault. She said, "Do I pet him?" So it's like, same
yeah,
diff.
yeah.
Oh, don't
Said
even
her
take me.
sister-in-law was sick for 6 months and still gets short of breath. Yeah, I'm just exhausted
Yeah.
all the time, and I'm getting there. I'm better than I was yesterday, and
It
you
has
know,
been almost 2 years for me, and I'm still not okay. So,
wow.
it everybody goes through it different, and I think
Yeah,
I'm a loud hauler, and it is what it. And the fact that I'll be 65 in August probably plays a role in that. I don't know. Nobody knows, you know.
yeah, yeah. I already have an autoimmune deficiency, so I'm
Yeah,
sure that has to do with it.
right.
Anyway, okay, enough of that unhappiness now.
Yeah. Except for that
Woohoo!
petting and stroking part. Yeah.
Gigi, did you have a question? I'm just now seeing that you asked if we saw your comment. So I don't see a comment from you for a while.
Okay. Let me go up. I'll look. I'll look.
Okay. Yeah, we didn't, I
Gigi.
don't think we saw.
I apologize if I didn't, because it's Sharon's fault. She's got me doing this with her. And
Yeah, I don't see them. Anne doesn't see them either.
okay, we're doing oracle cards, just decorating cards, or what? Not sure I'll stay.
Oh, I
Um,
answered. Yeah.
creating the cards and creating your own oracle cards is what she's doing. Let me see if there's another
It's just that
question.
YouTube eats her comments sometimes. Huh. Oh.
I
Well, I
don't
hope that's not happening. That's a sad thing if YouTube is eating comments.
I don't see any other comment, Jenny. So if that was your question, then um, basically we're creating them from start to finish. How long it
Okay.
took me? Oh, how long it took you to get over COVID?
It didn't.
I
You're still having it, aren't you? Aren't you still having issues?
Yeah, I don't see anything on there like that, Gigi. Hi, CW.
Hey, Carolyn.
Yep.
We were just
Um,
talking about you and the goodies you sent. I had the stickers out that you sent me. Um, uh, talking about putting them on the oracle cards because it would make it so much easier if we put them in our kit and they were ready to go. That we were not
um,
dealing with a whole lot of glue and
yes, exactly. What Ann Lover and Diane said is make sure you are on the live chat and not on the top chat, Jenny, because your comments will disappear on top chat. But I'm on live chat, and I don't see anything about you having COVID, and I'm sorry you had it.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I hope
Okay.
all is well with you and Joe. Okay, so I want to share with you just a couple of examples here. Just knowing that you can do these in a theme or you can do them all differently. And I am an all differently, all the way sort of girl because I would get bored if I did it the same over and over. Um, I mean, I even get bored halfway through a journal. I have one that
Okay,
I'm
Jenny.
almost done with. So, oh yeah, yeah.
Major fatigue. Now, Jenny, I can totally identify with. Like I said, it's been almost 2 years, and I have the fatigue, and I hurt everywhere. I know that Sharon has an autoimmune disease, and she just hurts everywhere all the time. And I do too, but I don't know that it's like hers. Um, and mine hasn't been as long as for yours.
But you
But it's,
almost died from COVID.
according to
And
my husband, yeah.
yeah, and I didn't. I mean, I didn't. It felt m- mild in comparison to the stories that you told. And I know that the doctor said that I was experiencing long COVID, which means I'm in it for the duration, apparently. So I have hope that tomorrow is a new day and it'll be done. You
Every
know,
day is a new, every day is
that's
another
right.
day.
And
For
there
me,
is,
I had hair down my back longer than, well, probably as long as yours, if not longer. And I lost most of it.
wow.
It's
I,
just in the last few months, I noticed it's growing back and it's coming back thicker. Not getting longer so much, but it is getting thicker like it used to be.
I told Bill
So,
that and he was pretty worried I was going to lose my hair.
well, I didn't go bald, but I tell you what, I felt like a 90-year-old with the little bit of hair I had left.
My mom's is thinned from COVID too. We were talking about it yesterday. Isn't that crazy? It's just
Okay,
crazy.
so let's see what you've got there.
Okay. Um, all right. So what I have here is you can use stamps like ink. This is an ink stamp on a gel print that I just glued down straight down to the card. So you don't have to paint it first. You don't have to, depends on what you're into. You can do it the way I'm doing it and follow along that way, or you can go rogue and do your own, make your own path. Um, but choose words that resonate with you, choose phrases that resonate with you, and I'll explain what that might mean in a minute. But this says explore, step on new ground. And what I did was create, it's a stamp, it's a girl with an umbrella, it's like a ballerina. But I created it so it looks like she's stepping outside this frame. Like on the one side, it looks like her leg is behind it. And on the other side, I made her leg in front of it. And I wrote step on new ground. Stepping on new ground means a lot to me. All of my life, uh, there are reasons why those words come up for me all the time. And stepping on new ground means a lot of things. It means trying new things. It means going somewhere new. It means exploring. Um, so I wrote words that meant something to me that'll make me thoughtful about it. Sorry about all the ink and paint and, I just noticed I have ink all over. So I wrote explore, step on new ground because it means something to me. So that is a finished card right there. And I'll do something else to the back of it. I mean, I was just exploring the ideas of how to finish off the back and not be bored with the way I was doing it.
So that's as much as or all it needs to be done. You don't have to
Right.
get fancy schmancy or,
Nope.
real difficult or overthink it.
Nope. Or you can go all the way out and go crazy, like, these are. If you are a mandala maker, you can make a mandala. You can do every single one of them different and explore new techniques, whatever you're into at the time or whatever your group is doing or whatever you're into, Here's just a sticker and I wrote stay thirsty, keep learning. And she's got a book. I mean, that's just a gel print glued to a card with some gold marker, a really thin sticker. I used my favorite walnut ink crystal with some water in one of these water pins and just went around the edges of the card because that tissue paper just soaks that right up and creates like I made a shadow around her.
Hi,
So I thought that was
Teresa.
fun. Hey, Teresa.
They're not
How
ATCs, Teresa.
are
They're going to be affirmation cards. We're making our own oracle cards.
you? So with an oracle card, let me put this aside so we kind of get it. You can make these one word jobbies and they can be like an ATC and you can do them real simple, or you can create and practice mindfulness for yourself. So it should be an action. An action means something that makes you think, something that makes you make a mental list of maybe 5 things you like about yourself, or do organize 5 areas in your house, or an action. It can be a physical action or spiritual action. It can be about strength. It can be about growth, hope, healing, purpose. But whatever we do, we're going to want to not just have a word, but have something that resonates with you, like step on new ground, that means something to you. One of the things that I like to do when I don't feel good, any day before all of this, if I'm having a hard time moving, I'll say, okay, just go do 5. Say I don't want to do the dishes. I don't have a dishwasher. I wash by hand every day. And if I don't feel like doing it, I'll say, okay, I'm just going to go, like do 5. It's fine. I usually end up doing them all. I always end up doing them all, like 99% of the time. But if you can't get started, it's good to tell yourself it's okay to go just do 5. That's all right. Or just organize that one cabinet, because that one cabinet's driving you crazy and you need to spring clean the whole house, but just do the one. You'll feel better when it's done, and you're giving yourself permission to just get started, you know? Um, so in your categories, I mean, I wrote down, maybe love and family, maybe health. Have something all over the place so that as you're shuffling through your cards, or as you're making your cards, you're thinking about that. And like I said, go in detail, don't go in detail. This is really a personal journey that I hope you want to take with me. Here's
Hi,
another one.
Sandra.
Hey, Xandra. I don't see Xandra on there yet.
Scraps
Oh,
to
and
Beauty by Sandra.
uh,
Gigi suggests
exactly.
neurographic art would be good on each of these. Yeah, I
It
agree.
would.
That's a good
Yeah, whatever
idea.
you're into at the time, I think that's a perfect way to practice. So,
Yeah.
say you and your group are doing neurographic art. You can decide, okay, well, I want to go practice that. And I learned that today at this other live. So, I'm going to go make some cards to go with my Oracle deck, or my meaningful deck, and do them that in that style as a practice. So you can apply anything you're working on to this. This is alcohol ink directly on the playing card, which I explored all those different things. And then I took a stencil, and then I took a gold pin, like gold, and went in and drew around some of those. And that's a PM Artist Studio stencil, which I have a couple small ones in my kit. And I just kind of made some gold marks. And then I gave her some pointy features here. I gave her like a crown here. And that's a little bit of teabag wisdom. And Mona Lisa means a lot to me. I use her in a lot of things. I have put her on the front of one of my very first journals. I love her. I love everything about her. And I remember that if you don't know the story of how long it took him to paint the Mona Lisa, it's crazy. It took him years because he changed it so many times. And that means a lot to me. So it makes me think and remember that, and know that, practice makes perfect. And, we're all getting there. We just have to get started. So this says, be the change you wish to see in the world. And that's tea bag wisdom from my tea bags in my little thing in my box. And I have that written in chalk on an antique frame that I put a chalkboard in on my porch, and it's been there for years. So I really like that. I like that, you know, um, it just takes one person in a butterfly effect to change the world around you. Maybe not the whole world, but maybe your world, maybe your friend's world, our world together. So just like this, what we're doing.
Diane has a suggestion.
Okay.
Your list there with the white paper,
Uh-huh.
she says, is interfering with your focus. You really are
Oh,
kind of fuzzy.
oh, sorry.
So
How's
she
that?
says that's what's doing it. You need to actually remove it. There you go.
There we
Um,
go.
you're still a bit pixelated, and I don't know if it's your internet or what, but that's as good as it's
It's
going to get.
clear on my screen for some reason. That's odd. And it,
You're you're mostly clear. It's better now, I think. If
okay.
anybody sees different, they can say so. Yeah,
Okay.
it's better now, but it pixelates every now and then on me.
The other thing to not forget is you don't have to have beautiful writing. I hated the writing here because it was on the edges of the tissue paper and I hadn't sealed it yet, but that's okay. I'll go back over it with the marker again,
Thank you,
and
Diane.
it's totally fine. This has the Queen of Hearts, which I collect the Queen of Hearts. I even have a little box right here. I love the Queen of Hearts, like the card. I've always collected those. And
I remember. Yeah.
this is from that Wonderland sticker set that I got. And I wrote, "Never forget that you are the queen of your destiny." So I put that on a queen card for a reason, and I let that queen show through. So you can go around and doodle on these. You can go one and done and be, quick about it. You can sit and have a cathartic experience with it if you want. Just take your time, sit and doodle, do a bit of Zentangle, uh, the create new neuro networks and practice your skills, but just about getting started and having some mindfulness. So, what do you guys think? Who wants to do this with me?
Me. And
Yeah.
I never thought about it, but it would be excellent if you had some old file folders and you cut them in the size
Oh,
of
yeah.
whatever card you wanted. And then you just did Zentangle on one side, just neurographic art, like Gigi said. And then on the other side, you could write a note or your affirmation, or you could cut words out from a magazine or something and create your own affirmation, paste it on there like a ransom letter.
Oh,
Actually, that would make it textured, so that might not work, but you could
yeah.
write it. You could write it on there, but I think the neurographic, I hadn't thought of that.
Oh, somebody, let's see. I missed a comment here. Hold on just a minute. Um, oh, I thought I missed something. Somebody splashed something.
Well,
Somebody.
you were talking about Mona Lisa, and Xandra said it's a
Oh,
shame
oh,
last
oh.
month somebody actually threw something on her, but
They did?
there was a glass partition, so whatever it was,
Oh,
like they threw a cup of milk or something on her, but apparently there was a glass partition there, so it went
oh
on
my
that rather
goodness.
than the painting.
Oh
But
my goodness. What is,
yeah,
I hope they were arrested.
well,
That's
yeah, they had his. It was an older gentleman, I believe, and they got him.
what was his
Um,
reasoning for that? That is ridiculous. I
it,
can't imagine.
he did an unreasonable act, and you want to know his reasoning?
Yeah.
Nope,
Yeah. What
nope.
in his brain, what was wrong with him?
Well,
Yeah,
that's it right there. There was something wrong with his thinking. Um,
apparently.
and Xandra says, and Anne says she's been to Paris, and Xandra's been to Paris. So, woohoo!
I think
Let's see.
some. Teresa has a 24 karat gold Queen of Hearts. Wow.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah. That's awesome. Okay, so this came from Daily Joy. And I got this book just to cut up. I got it for a few bucks on my favorite website. And it's got all these gorgeous pictures and all these gorgeous quotes. But I'm keeping this book in my box there so it can be next to the recliner. So when I need a moment of joy and I need inspiration for the next card, I can open this up. and give it a look-see. It's got the little ribbon in it. It's got gorgeous pictures. So some of what I might use will be from this book. And it's quotes. That's Emily Dickinson. This is Rumi. And it's everything in the universe is within you. Ask all from yourself. I thought that was great. And there's, you can use a magazine for your pictures. Just lots of thoughts there. But I'm going to start with probably gel prints and paint. That's where I'm at.
Well, while you were talking and everything, I cut out a piece of gel print and put it on one of my homemade cards.
Oh, good. And I have these from the other day, and then I have this folder.
Okay, Darcy.
Get started.
Darcy has to go. She'll watch the replay. Okay, Darcy. We'll see you later. Have a good evening.
We'll see you later. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the one I did the other day that I shared, some of it, with the alcohol ink on the gel plate. And these ones are paper, but I've got this folder here that I put the tissue papers in. I've got some of your tea bags here. Those might be fun to glue down, but tissue paper is nice and thin. You can see the card underneath if you choose, or you can cover it completely up with, a single coat of white gesso if you want. I think I like that one. I think I'm going to go with some purple here.
Xandra has a question. She says, Sharon,
okay.
do you stream every Saturday night?
I only stream twice a month. It's the first and third Saturday of the month. And then that gives me time to work on, because I do a lot of big projects too. And then I have time to work on everything I need to work on. And then I can throw other little videos in between. Of course, I haven't lately because I've been sick, but yeah. So let's see. These all have one coat of gesso on them. Looking for a black one because I want the black to go with that. Everybody that's here, thank you so much. Can I make it a special announcement, like a super special announcement?
No.
No? Okay.
Well, you asked.
Darn it, I won't do it then.
I don't know who's supposed to answer you since you're the boss.
Well, I just thought definitely you would have something funny to say to that.
No, what's your announcement?
My announcement, when I looked before we came on here together tonight, I was 5 away from reaching our next goal of 400.
Yes.
5 away. And then there's going to be a double drawing.
Well,
so probably for our next live, we'll have a double drawing.
If they stick, you are now 4 away. So whoever came in and subscribed, thank you so much.
Thank you.
We're so glad you're here. We appreciate it. We appreciate all the wonderful thumbs ups.
So much. I don't know what I'd do without you guys. Y'all are amazing, and I hope and everything that the only thing I want from all of the things that I do and share is to inspire, and I hope that you find some inspiration.
And I'm going to say this. Janet just posted the first, to remind everybody and put it in writing, the first and third Saturday of each month is when you stream.
That's right.
Health willing. And Janet, if no one knows, I run the Art of Streams Facebook group, and Janet is my co-administrator. She has been with me since day one, and she is a lovely person and helps me with so much. Especially when I had COVID, this girl stepped in and took care of everything for me so I could be sick. And she mods for a lot of the streamers. So if anybody ever needs a rapid mod or a focused mod or whatever, I highly recommend Janet.
Oh,
she doesn't stream or do, she doesn't get on here like I do or whatever, but she'll sit back there and she'll watch everybody, and boy, she'll knock out she'll do the job. She is the best.
Oh, So, Janet, Violet talked about you, but I've not met you. So I'm so glad you're here. Thank you.
Yep, she
I've
runs
not.
Artist Streams
Yeah.
with me, and like I said, when I had COVID, she was my biggest. I did not have to worry at all. I didn't give it two thoughts because
Oh,
she had it covered.
that's so great.
Yep, and
I
she's
don't know what I would do without Violet, you guys. Just, while she's not listening. I just want to say I don't know what I'd do without her. So
well, we
thank
have to
you.
support each other, don't we? Isn't that what we do
Yeah,
as artists? We
that is
gotta
what we do.
we gotta. You need a
Yes.
leg up? I'll give you a leg up. You fall off you laugh, I laugh. You cry, I cry. You jump off the cliff, I'll laugh, and then maybe help you up.
Yeah,
Right?
that's right.
Mystical Misty, hello.
Hey,
Welcome,
Misty.
welcome.
Um, so all I did there was use my favorite glue. Here, favorite glue, favorite glue. And it is because it is smooth. It is always smooth. I never get wrinkles. If you want to glue down a napkin and you don't want wrinkles and you want it to be smooth, use the Crafters Workshop Matte Gel Medium. It is my favorite one for that because you get wrinkles with a lot of them. This one's thick enough. It's almost gone. It's time to order more. But that it makes it perfect if I'm trying to get a smooth finish, which y'all know I'm a texture junkie.
Yeah,
So
that's
it's
how I
hard.
am. And that comes from the
Yeah.
Crafters Workshop, that gel medium.
Yeah, it does.
Yep.
I have such a hard time not adding texture. So I have to remind myself it's okay. This is visual texture,
Well, and that's what I said when you said we were going to make these and we didn't want any texture or anything
Right.
to prevent us from shuffling. I'm like, wait a second, this doesn't sound like a texture
Like
junkie
me.
type product. Yeah, exactly.
So visual texture happens also. I mean, that's okay. It's okay to
Okay.
have the visual effect that, creates texture. And this is I'm just using up this jar. It's a flat finish varnish from Tulip. I just want to kind of go over the edges and make sure it's nice and smooth down because I, want to make sure it's good and sealed. Not that
Yeah.
glue won't seal it. It's just that is really thick and I don't want to stick a paintbrush in it. And, I don't want to. It clogs up my paintbrush and then I'm out of glue, you know.
Let's see. We have a newbie. We have Penny Kitzmiller. Hello, Penny.
Hello, Penny, and welcome.
Yes.
Thank you for being here.
Mhm.
We are starting and talking about oracle cards or mindfulness or prayer or whatever your belief system cards that whatever works for you in whatever style that you like that you can copy or go off rogue on your own like Diane is going to, she said.
Oh, I hope so. And I hope if she's in Makers that she posts some pictures because I'd really like what
Yeah.
her and Gigi come up with. Well,
Yeah.
everybody. I can only imagine what Anne will come up with.
Yeah. I can't wait to see. And Mose, I
And
think Mose,
Darcy and yeah.
you and yeah, everybody will. And I think everybody has the potential to have some really unique stuff here. We could all use the same words. I mean, if you want to use my words, use my words. That's great. But or use something that works with you, something that makes you think. It could be take the dog for a walk today. It could be, get some physical activity. It could be something with your physical health. It could be something with your mental health. It's just a healing experience, I think.
Well, I'll tell you, I have a quote, and I think Einstein said it, and it's one of my favorites. So I will share it with everybody.
Okay, I'd
It's
love that.
yeah, it's a mind is like a parachute. It works better when open.
Oh, I love that. I do.
Yep. So open your mind to possibilities.
That's right. I think that's a great one. And in your little notebook that you have on your in your box that you're going to
Yep.
keep handy, you can write down these quotes too.
I'm
And
gonna write that one
anything you
down
come
so I can.
across or think of. This one, John David Lowe sent me that he had printed off. And I want to show how nice it would be to just use something like this. This is from an old unicorn art book, which I have a book that this is in, like large, and they're like between sheets of tissue or parchment, whatever that's called. I should know. It's like it's an art book that I would never cut up. So I'm so glad he sent this. It's a unicorn.
I love what he does.
I do too. I love all the texture detail and how touchable everything is.
Yep.
I always like to have a nice touchable project, and I am a toucher. I almost, at the
Do you pet it too?
Huh?
Do you pet it too?
Cut what?
Pet. P-E-T,
Oh,
pet.
I am a petter. Yeah, I'm a petter. At the Smithsonian, I leaned in too far for Van Gogh's self-portrait. I don't know if I told you this, but I almost, like, security guards swooped in, an alarm went off. All I wanted to do was see the cracks. I wasn't going to touch it. I swear. I swear I wasn't going to.
She just wanted to see the cracks. Hi, Susan.
Hi, Penny. Hi, Susan. Did I say hi to Penny?
She just wanted to see the cracks.
I did, because you can see all of, he has so many self-portraits, but you can see all the cracks in the paint, and that makes my heart happy.
Oh, the cracks in the paint. I see. Okay.
Oh, it was so good. It was so good. Oh, anyway.
Yeah, I have a bad mind.
I have to use a brush. Well, no, it was just his face.
That cracks me up.
The cracks.
Yep, the cracks.
I did it. I put a brush
see.
in it.
Anne has a story tonight. We freaked out. The Hirshhorn once took 8 kids under 12 in for a tour. Guards were hawking.
Oh my gosh. So they were afraid we were going to touch it.
I'm not sure where the Hirshhorn is, but guards were hawking us until they finally figured out these kids knew how to behave in a museum. Oh.
Here, I have, oh, it's on my coffee table. It is at the Smithsonian. I have a whole book on it downstairs on the coffee table, because I loved the sculpture garden in front so much. And I was in art photography at the time, and took a lot of black and white photos, and even had some framed in my house at some point over the years. I was an art student, but I was also in student government. So I got sent to DC and Tennessee and, like places to go to seminars and stuff, political seminars.
The Hirshhorn is one of the Smithsonian museums. It emphasizes modern art. That's where I want to go.
The Modern Art Museum. You can spend a whole month at the Smithsonian. If you like art, it would take you a month to go through all of the different museums in DC, because they're all over the place now, and they keep buying up old locations off of the National Mall, and adding more art and more museum areas. So while all the other girls went shopping, I went back to the museum all by myself on the underground rail, and didn't realize how dangerous it was. And went through there by myself, because I still didn't see it all. It was pretty amazing, though. I would go back in a heartbeat.
I live 2.5, 3 hours from downtown Chicago, and I can't go because it just freaks me out. I just lose it. I go to town here. It's 5 minutes away, and there's so much. A guy almost T-boned me yesterday. So
I don't like cars now. I'm funny about, I'll walk in, I'll get on public transit, and I don't hate the city, but I
Yeah.
don't like being on the freeway at all. At
Yeah.
all. Yeah. A quarter rounder would be good for these too.
Penny says she's in Tennessee. Yep, my brother lives. I've been to Tennessee numerous times. My brother lives in Nashville. He's a bass player down there.
You know the hotel under glass in Nashville? It's like a city under a dome.
Gaylord.
That's where we stayed.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where our conference was. Boy, that was amazing.
Yep. When I was a CMT working
That was
for this
amazing.
one of the biggest country companies for transcription, they had a conference at the Gaylord, and a
That's
lot of
where,
lot
yeah.
of my coworkers went. I didn't get to go, and
And it was cool.
they're still talking about it, and it's been 12 years, I think. But not long after that, like a year or two after that, there was a big flood, and the Gaylord was like completely flooded.
Oh my gosh, are you kidding?
Yeah,
Wow.
total major damage, and I don't know. Oh, I'm sure they've brought it back. I've been down to Tennessee numerous times since then, but I never thought to go over there. I'd love to, though.
So there was a boat ride that we took inside under glass because it's like a whole city under there. It's not just a
Hmm.
hotel. The hotel is around the perimeter, and inside there are tropical gardens, and it's like five
Hmm.
stories high, and you can
Yep.
take a boat ride through it. And there were bars that we went dancing at, and all the balconies look out into this tropical oasis with a glass dome over the
Yep.
top. It was just, oh, it was so amazing.
I so want to go there. And my brother doesn't live but a couple miles from it, but I've still not been there.
You need to go there.
We
You
went,
don't just go eat. They have a Jack Daniel's grill inside.
um,
They have a whole bunch of restaurants in the bottom portion if they fixed it the way it was, you know.
Diane says, people places just do me in these days. Diane, it's been worse since COVID that I've been going
Yeah.
through that. But yeah, it's been that way. I worked from home for 15 years, so that's what I get.
I always worked with the public, so now I'd rather be less peoply in public. You know,
Yeah.
I was always in, all of that, and I was such a social person, and now I would rather just be here with you guys.
I think I just don't know how to behave. I'm one of those people that
Oh, I
um
never did.
I feel like, well, I think we've talked about this. I feel like I say the wrong thing, or after we've talked, I sit there and ruminate about, did I say the wrong thing? Was she okay? Did I offend her? See, I overthink it. I ruminate on it. Not good.
Um, I'm more likely like, oh my God, I can't believe I said that out loud,
Yeah,
or I know I talk too much. I've always been that way since I was a kid, and I know I'm fidgety,
not
and
me.
I know I'm the weird artist always, and I've accepted that as I've gotten older, but I also, I was a bartender for, yeah, they didn't care what I
Yeah,
said.
you had to
They
be,
liked
yeah.
it.
They liked smart
Yeah.
ass. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So, and sometimes I can't watch my mouth. I mean, I'm always nice. I'm not saying I would ever say anything negative. I'm saying sometimes I cuss. Sometimes, sometimes it's hard to be proper. Not proper, mostly.
Acceptably sociable or politically correct or whatever the term
I
is.
know I am politically correct. Um, I do know that much, but with cussing.
Well, I don't know if I am or not because they keep changing the rules.
Opryland Hotel is the biggest, fanciest down there.
I've been, Penny, my brother took me down to, we went to Willie Nelson's place, which if I never saw anything, I was happy to do that. We saw the car from, those guys in the orange car that flew around in the car. I can't think of the name
Clown
of it.
cars?
No, it was a movie. It was a TV series.
I don't
Um,
know.
but
Oh, the
anyway,
Dukes of Hazzard.
Dukes of Hazards. We saw the car. I have a picture of my brother and Russ standing by the car. My brother actually bought a horn to put in his car that sounded just like the Dukes of Hazzard's
Oh
car, the
my
weirdo.
goodness.
Oh yeah, he's just as weird as me. We went to Opryland, but it was so packed that I said, "There's no way I can go inside." So we just stood outside, and I went ooh ah, and that was the end of it. And that's fine. That's just fine. I'd still love to see Gaylord though.
We
Well,
ate
and
at the Wild Horse Saloon, which I didn't care about because I already worked in a place like that. And I never listened to country music. So it
oh,
didn't,
yeah, I grew up with all
yeah.
kinds of music and
I
country.
grew up with country. I
Yeah.
did. It just that was never my music. So I'm just showing how easy this can be or not. And this says believe you can and you're halfway there, and it's Theodore Roosevelt. And all I did was cover it with that paper that John David Lowe sent me. And I'm going to put this on here and maybe edge it with some gold. And it can be as simple as that, just to give an example.
So that's going to be a little bit of a raised, yeah, a raised bit. So will you seal it then to kind
I
of smooth
will.
it out? Yeah.
That was a good segue there. That's one of the ones I will take downstairs, and I will make sure that it gets a good coat because
Yeah.
it'll seal the edges. But as long as nothing can catch underneath it, and it's down all the way, I mean, this stuff might work. This high gloss varnish, as long as it doesn't stick together.
Right, right, Diane. One of the few modern country songs that I like is by Big and Rich called "Ride a Horse" or
Save a
"Save
horse,
a
ride
Horse,
a
Ride a
cowboy.
Cowboy." Yeah, there's
Well,
there's there's a few of them. Anything Garth Brooks will
I
melt me.
know all those songs from
Yeah,
working in that environment.
yeah.
So,
I that will melt me. Then anything Dolly Parton. I mean, it's not just because it's country, but it's because they are artists in my mind. Dolly Parton is a committed country singer,
my
and
mom's
she
name is Jolene. My dad used to
oh
sing it to her. My dad was a country musician. So I grew up in that environment and it felt like my dad's music. It's not that I don't like any of the words or, just
yeah,
it wasn't me because it was my dad's.
I love them because they're artists,
Yeah.
because they're devoted artists. It's like I'm not a big fan of I don't like Monet or Van Gogh as much as like I like Monet or whatever, but I gotta respect the artist.
Yeah. Yeah. Some people
So
are
that
just doing it to be famous and
yeah, or
different.
they're
Yeah.
just singing, or they've
Right.
commercialized their singing, and it you can see right through it. It's like what Penny said, "Don't be fake, be yourself." And some of them I think are I you can hear the fake, but I think Dolly Parton's heart is in the right place. I just love her. I love her as a person. But then I'm goofy because I also like Van Morrison and
Oh, I like Van Morrison.
Barry Manilow and the
I like
Bee
all
Gees.
kinds of music. I
Yeah.
do. Um, I I like good songwriting. I like talented people, um, and people that are in it for the love of music.
Yes,
It's a
that's what
big
I
thing.
mean by artists,
Yeah,
true
yeah,
artists.
yeah.
Billy
Big thing.
Joel, and Billy Joel lives and
Elton
breathes.
John,
Elton
even.
John.
Yeah.
Penny, when I lived in West Virginia briefly, and one of the things we did while we were there was, and my husband is not a country fan. Trust me, he's not a country fan. Um, we're both more classic rock and roll than anything. But he took me for a road trip, and we went and found Loretta Lynn's house where
Oh,
she was born. And let me tell you how far back up in there it is. And I was in heaven.
well, I was born a coal miner's daughter, and we lived. I
Exactly,
was,
Diane.
yeah.
It's like what I said earlier about an open, yeah, a mind is like a parachute, an open mind. So I keep an open mind. I like what I like.
We listen to
Either,
everything from Bach
yep,
to Viking
butcher,
rock in the car.
butcher
When
holler.
yeah.
Exactly, Penny. We stopped at the little store that her, what was it, her nephew, I think, ran the little store. We stopped in there, or I went in. He waited in the car. And then from there, we went down to as close as we could get to the house. We didn't get out of the car. We were very respectful. Um, but because there was no one there at the time, I forget what day. It might have been a Sunday. There was no one there, so we just stayed on the road and took pictures from the road. But yep, another icon.
So I'm working on some tea bag art here, just
Yep.
because it's sitting on my desk and it's already here. And oh, hey, when I'm done, I will take pictures of what I have so far, and I will share them over on the Art of the Streams and in Maker's Creative Collab. So if anybody wants to take inspiration from it or use the words or share their own, you all can see them.
I'm going to put PNM's the link to their Facebook group up if anybody's on
Okay.
Facebook and they want to go over there and join or see. They can join the group, answer the questions, and join the group, or they, if they're already part of the group, they can see what you post. Here we go. There's the link for Makers. Conway Twitty.
My
We've
dad
never
used to
been
sing
this
Conway.
far before. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, Diane.
Oh, we'll see you later, Diane. Gotta go paint some of the bus white, my next canvas. Oh, well, you have fun with that. That
Mm-hmm.
does sound fun.
Mm-hmm.
Just make a giant oracle card.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you for the visit.
Yeah, thank you for coming. Okay, this one I might get a little crazy with. I've got this, and I loved these pieces of artwork out of it was an art book, and I made a copy. I didn't ruin the book
Mm-hmm.
this time. This time, I'm so bad. But it turned out to be a really bad copy. You can see the lines through it, and it's pretty fuzzy. But I thought it might be perfect to cut off those men's heads and add her to a card. And then I'm going to pull some transfers out. PM did that the thing with the colored pencils these last couple weeks.
Yep,
And
and I actually bought those under the sea, the under the
you
sea
can use those
color.
here.
Yeah, I'm excited
Markers,
because they're awesome colors.
pencil, markers, paint pens.
Yep,
If you have any of those fancy, expensive, what are they, Posca pens? I don't have
yep.
any. Need them.
Gel pens.
Gel pens. I had a gel pen out a minute ago, a gold one for the unicorn horn to show how simple that could be.
Mm-hmm. Also, there's distress inks.
Uh-huh.
You were
Yeah.
just using them some, so
Sprays.
those are, yeah.
And these are alcohol ink on the gel plate with rice paper. And the rice paper is nice and thin if you've got Stamperia rice paper, collect those. What a use for them.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Oh, Penny has an idea. Here we go. I might just make a journal about old icons. Icons as in like Conway Twitty and
That's a great idea.
um what's his name? Rich, the silver fox. Remember,
You
Penny?
can do oracle cards in icons, or
Mm-hmm.
fairies, or artists, or um, you can do a theme and use song words that mean something deep to you.
Okay,
I actually
Susan.
wrote down a song earlier for that reason.
That's a good idea.
Because we all have those songs that make us feel something.
Mm-hmm. That's a good idea. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, Susan, we're glad you're still lurking with us. Lurking is just as good. Almost as good. I don't want to say that wrong. It's almost as good. So I'm going to put her on there because I think she's beautiful. And I'm going to write my words on this time because I want it to be something special that goes with this. But I also want to bring in a stencil, I think. I'm going to bring in flat, flat, flat. I know there was something else in my notes that I didn't start a bin. Healing experience of journey and thoughtfulness. Personalized. Favorite quotes, memories, areas of improvement you want in your life.
Well, I always say the first place to check right off bat, Penny, is Amazon. Not that I advocate for it, but it's always the first place to check. Find out what their price is and then go from there. Usually they have the best price because they buy in bulk and store it in their warehouse. So that's how they keep their shipping prices down.
For
Um,
what?
rice paper.
Oh, yeah. I got all mine on Amazon and I have
Mhm.
several different kinds and not all of them are the same. And I was bad and took away the packaging immediately because I'm bad like that. I put them all together when I was organizing the room. I'm looking for just like a Sharpie, I think, or that one. Um, but I've had some that turned out to be, and they were called calligraphy papers, and they actually tore on my gel plates if you
Oh,
leave them on too long. You have to take them off right away if you use rice paper.
good to know
That's
because I
yeah,
almost got some one time and I wondered how about that.
my recommendation. Just if it's rice paper, take it off right away.
Yeah, good to know. Yeah.
So I have mentioned John David Lowe already, and I do want to say one more thing. He said something to me when I got sick. He said, "Grant yourself grace," and I wrote that down because it meant a lot, and his words were true, like rang true with me. So I decided that that was going to go on one of my cards, and I think this is the card. So grant yourself grace. And that means a lot in a lot of areas of my life because we all expect too much of ourselves, I think.
So you
Or,
will write that on there, right?
yep, I'm going to write it on.
Your own handwriting.
Yep. This is a PM Artist Studio stencil for anybody that doesn't know. Gigi, if you're still here and you haven't checked out their stencils.
Oh, absolutely. They are quality and they are unique.
I like these little ones for, kits. And, if I'm going to have something next to the recliner, I don't have a giant stencil sitting next to me. I can take these little ones with me. They're the perfect size to play with.
And I'll tell you what I'm loving right now is that they actually encourage this. Cut this stencil in
Yep.
pieces and put it back together your own way and create a Franken stencil. I mean, who does that?
Yeah. Well, they want us to make them our own, it's art. It's our own art. It's, we got to make it our own. I think that's wonderful. So I just
Yeah.
want to use I got those markers and I think they're just too skinny. That one's too skinny too. I kind of want something in
What do you mean skinny?
between. Like the tip is too sharp. I don't want it that sharp. I want it that might work. Let's see. Yeah. So I'm going to write that on something here and then glue it down just because. So one of those envelopes that I put here in my box, it has some like book pages and stuff in it. And I did that so that I could either tear out words that I like. That one's in German. I don't know any of those words, but I saw some of them had words on them. Today she wore a big grin on her face. I think that's fantastic. As a matter of fact, I'm going to leave that out. And there's some music paper here. There's some dictionary paper. You can like find a word that you like and its definition even. Use those. There's some that have been sprayed because they sit in the bottom of my, some red hair. They sit in the bottom of my spray box. And then I pull them out as I like them and add more new paper. But what I'm grabbing is a piece of lined paper out of there. Or yellow.
Yes, thank you, Anne. Hi, Liz. Welcome, welcome.
Hello, Liz.
We're so glad you're here.
Yeah.
Well, Penny, then you got to just take a shot in the dark and hope you get something that's useful. I mean, you're welcome to, I'm on Facebook. You're welcome to find me and private message me. And if you don't know something, and we'll figure it out. How's that? And Anne says, Penny, when you order, be sure to write a note on the order form. There'll be a little spot on the order form where you can put in a note or a comment and tell her you want the bibs and the dirty pencils, anything that goes with whatever you're purchasing. That way you get all bits, not bibs. Duh. Hey, I read them as I see them, y'all. Yeah, and if you tell her you want the bits and the dirty stencils or whatever, you not only get the stencil, but you get the pieces that come from that get cut out from it. You get all the, in the case of the one that Sharon's using right now, that happens to be one of my favorite stencils. It's probably my favorite. Yeah. And if you tell them you want the bits and that, they'll give you the little stars that came out of that, and maybe you can glue them on little cards like this or whatever, and tell her that Anne and Sharon and Violet sent you.
That's right.
And I tell you what, I'm going to go find the link for it because that would be most helpful for you. So we're going to go find the link for the shop. What is the other thing I need to know? And there's the link for the shop. They are leaving on the 20th, so they are leaving in 2 days. Yes, they're leaving in a couple of days for thankfully, the three of them are going off on a little cruise. And so all orders will be put on hold. So if you want anything, they will mail on up till today and tomorrow. From my Facebook group? Oh, sure. Let's see if I can find it. Ha ha ha.
What you looking for?
The link from my Facebook group.
Oh yeah. I don't have a Facebook group. I did with a partner, and I've just decided I can work on more big projects if I don't have a Facebook group.
Exactly.
And more variety of things, and we all have enough. There are enough groups, like your group.
My group is called The Art of Streams. Right. P is not going and Van is not going. Boy, I hope Van is doing okay now.
Oh, I thought P was going too for some reason.
No, P's not going. This is just M and daughter and husband.
Oh, they're going to have.
There's the link for my group. but you
I
can join
decided
or not join. It's okay. But mostly go to Makers and join. Go to PM Artist Studio Group and join and check out the shop and tell them you want the bits, you want the dirty stuff. Yeah, and
I decided that the words "today she wore a big grin on her face" went with this because she's not smiling at all. I've got a sign downstairs that my friend, my best friend, gave me years ago. It says, "Make them wonder why you're still smiling."
yeah, make them
And
wonder what you're up to.
that I love that. So this kind of goes with that. It's perfect.
Well, you got me digging out my stencils and my gel pens over here.
Stamps.
So,
I need to dig out a stamp. That's a good thing for these too.
oh, you have a lot of those.
I don't have a lot of stamps, actually. I have
More
one
than me.
cart, one of those carts with the three, like the IKEA. It's not an IKEA brand. It's like, I don't know where it's from. It was a gift from a friend for Christmas. But that has stamps on it. That's it. And most of them are standing up in envelopes on the top shelf. I didn't start, I didn't even know about paper crafting or card making or any of that stuff until about 3 years ago. And that was probably when I got my first stamp. And I haven't actively collected them and I have exactly what I need. And a lot of them are already sort of images or backgrounds or, they're just what I need. So I
Oh,
don't.
when you said stamp, you know what I thought of?
What?
Stamps.
Like postage stamps?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. No, I don't. I have maybe a few of those that in an envelope somewhere.
that's what I was thinking. Duh. Duh. Well, if you say stamps, that's what I think of. Now, if you say rubber stamps, then I know what you're talking about.
I want to make this line darker. Yeah, right. Do you have rubber stamps, don't you?
I have rubber stamps. I just never think to, the things that I do, I don't always think to pull them out. Heck, I'm so bad that when I make like, well, you're making a beautiful card there, and you tore the paper and put it on there, and it's so cool. You gave it that like you said, the look of texture. And what I did is I cut out my gel print to fit the card exactly. And I'm looking at it going, well, that's not good. So when I saw you tearing that, then I went over and tore a piece of paper, another gel print off, and put that on there. Well, that looks better now. See what you
When
did?
you tear, it makes things smoother. Did you know that? When you go to glue something down, if it's torn, those feathery edges on there actually have a smoother, like here, I had to cut it because it was lines in a book. But that feathery edge makes it lay down flat, more flat than it would if it had a hard edge. And as often as possible, I tear things. For just, I like the way it looks. I like the feathery edges, but it also lays better. You know what it needs? Well, it needs a couple things still.
Hi, Mariah.
Hey, Mariah.
Uh-oh.
What's wrong?
P had to take Van back to the ER. Oh, no. Oh, no. No, no, no. Oh,
Oh,
this seems to be something different than his fall, but we just aren't sure.
I am so sorry. Yeah, we were just
Okay.
talking about him.
Okay. Yeah, Mariah, that's why I didn't expect to see you. You should be packing and
Oh,
preparing and not over here worrying about us. We
so
know
sorry.
what you're up to.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we're all gonna be sending good vibes and
Yeah,
prayers,
we'll be
all
thinking,
that. Yep.
thinking of you.
Yeah, and P and Van and okay.
Oh, wow. I'm
Yeah,
so sorry.
this seems to be something different than his fall, but we just aren't sure. And I don't blame you because it's awful coincidental, isn't it? So yeah, you have to have it checked out. Um, or if it whatever is going on is the reason or part of the reason he had the fall in the first place.
Yeah.
We
That's
love you guys. I will be here for the rest, and fingers crossed we will be on tomorrow. Okay, fingers crossed, but we understand, Mariah.
thank you. Thank you for letting us know. And we're thinking of you
Yep,
with all kinds of magical energy sent your way.
yep.
Okay. So I think I was going to give her the little treatment that I gave the Mona Lisa right here around her crown, like giving her a crown. But I think I'm going to quit there because I really like her.
I
And
really like her too.
today she wore a big grin on her face. And that means a lot to me. I had a sign that I painted years ago. And I had 12-foot ceilings in my old house with my first favorite art room in that house. And it was when I was in art school. And in my bedroom, I had all kinds of artwork, like a gallery wall. And above my door, because there was this great big space, I felt like it needed something. And it said, it was a sign that I painted that said, today is going to be a great day. And I woke up every morning and saw that. Um, I, that's what that means to me. And that's why I would put that on a card. And where I said, it needs to resonate with you um, through an action or a memory or something personal for you, it'll mean more in the end
Hmm.
rather than just a word. Or, I mean, you can just use a word. If one word gets you through that thought process, then if you can hear one word and think of that whole mindfulness action, then that's great. But I'm going to prefer to put probably more than one word on and things that mean something deeper and make me think a little harder, I
Hmm.
guess. Show me what you're doing there. Let's put on you.
You want to
Are you
see? I
ready?
don't have anything to brag about because I watch you too much.
Oh,
So if you want to bring it up, we can show.
okay. Let's do it. Okay.
Let's do it.
Pull up the double screen here. There we go.
So I had an old book, and I took book pages and I glued two or three pages together, and I made these cards for
Wonderful.
starters. And they're pretty solid. If I don't like them, I can always glue
Well,
some
and
more
then you
on
put
there.
another layer too, right? With each layer, they'll grow stronger.
Exactly. And then I rounded the corners. This is what I was
Uh-huh.
doing when you first started, as I was finishing that off. And then like I said, I cut out one of my, I have sheets and sheets of gel prints to choose from, just tons of it. Some of these are not, I mean, I looked at them and went, yuck, 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 yuck. But then
Wonderful.
when I looked at them with a smaller eye for these cards that I'm making, I saw it different. Instead of looking at the whole thing, I just looked at blocks of
Pick
it and went,
one.
oh, that'll work. And I
Yeah.
came up with this for the first one.
Oh, that's beautiful. I love the
I don't know if
colors.
anyone
Is
can
it
see that.
lavender and it's like a dark, peacocky sort of blue, isn't it?
And there's some mark making on there.
Uh-huh.
This one I can guarantee was inspired by P. And the back side is just the book page that I threw some ink on there. I was thinking balloons, to fly
Uh-huh.
off, to
Uh-huh.
soar. So that one's not done, but that's as far as I got. And then I looked at it and I went, well, that's just too precise. You know, it's
Yeah.
like I said, it's just right edge to edge, so precise. And that's okay.
Are
But
you
you
thinking
tore
that's going to be the back side of your card?
No, I'm gonna put a word or something on here. We'll see how it
Okay.
goes.
Uh-huh.
Um, it has a nice feel. So I don't know. Um, but that's as far as I got with that. And then you tore the one you just made. You tore the paper, and I went, you need to get out of the box. So
Okay,
I
hold on just a second. They're saying very pretty, gorgeous, very pretty. Looks. Penny said it looks like a whale. And the balloons could be keys too. Says
Oh,
Mariah.
Mariah,
I
you
do
saw
see
that too,
keys.
huh?
I see keys. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw them. There's the torn edges, so thank you for that.
Yeah.
And as far as stencils, I don't know if you could see right up in here, there's a bit of stenciling with a gel pen and a bit more over here
Oh,
with the
that's
gel
wonderful.
pen.
Uh-huh.
So that's just a start. And then the back is just words that I'll leave or bury or color or whatever, but it's a start.
Yeah. Well, I am going to. I know I have something on these for right now, but because I might use ink
Thank
on the
you.
fronts, I decided that I'm going to do my backs last for that reason. So I can make as much of a mess as I want on the front side, not have to worry about it getting on the back, and then I can take them down and do them all at once. With like on a tarp out back with my spray paint and my whatever, or I can put them on the gel plate if I don't get bored with the same stencils and colors over and over again, because I figure
Yeah.
I'll probably make about 30 cards, but I'm not going to make them all at once. I'm going to take my time, and that's why
Right.
they'll to the TV.
Exactly. That's why you said make a box, which is what I did, and have my
Mhm.
cards in there and have my pens and stencils and markers and whatever in there so I can make or whatever I want. If I'm going to paint, then I'll do that at my desk. But I think you're right. Make a box that you can sit on the sofa, watch TV and doodle or Zentangle or
Whatever it is you're
glue,
into at the
whatever
moment.
whatever you're doing. Yeah, I think it's a handy dandy little portable craft.
It really is, especially if Carolyn. I don't know if you missed this, Carolyn. Are you still here?
Mm.
These are the stickers that you sent me, Carolyn, that you made.
Okay, pull me off screen so we can see you better.
Oh, yeah. So if you guys don't want to deal with glue or anything deeper than maybe a glue stick there, if you print on some stickers, okay, that's it.
Did you break it again?
I'm about to.
Just look down to your screen and hit solo view.
It went full screen. Hold on. I was afraid to hit escape at this point. Okay, there
Oh,
we go.
don't hit escape.
There we
We
go.
can't let you go free.
Not
There
yet, at
you
least.
go. Not yet, right. There you go. Okay.
So these are the labels, they're stickers. So any sort of,
Oh,
and she sent me these with that rust powder and the inks, the ones for metal. But these are great if you don't want to use anything deeper than a glue stick. And if you gesso your cards up ahead of time, that way you have options and you don't have to, or you can just throw a sticker on there, or, and you still have this in your kit, but
yeah. I
give
would say
yourself the
if you're
opportunity to
using
have
stickers,
more.
yeah, still
Yeah.
put some glue down. Yeah.
And these are just envelopes that I gel printed, and I'm standing them up in the box like a file. So I know what's in there, and they're all sorted and standing up.
Very cool. And I like that card, the way you cut it, the edges.
The which one?
The one on the table, the two of diamonds. Do you have rigid edges or is that just, oh no, that's
Oh
just the,
no, it's just I just put gesso on it.
okay, what's happening here is your camera is trying to focus. You've got it
Oh,
on autofocus and it's trying to focus and it's pixelating.
there you go. Thank you,
Yep.
Patricia.
It looked like it,
Yeah.
it looked like it had, like you cut it with a fancy scissors with the funny edges, you know? Okay.
So this is the other one that I have here, and this is going simple again because I did the simple unicorn with the,
Mm-hmm.
And I've got the words "Grant Yourself Grace" here still because I didn't end up using it there. I needed that to use the smile one with her. So I've got these, and these are printed on a sticker paper, and it was accidentally in my printer. And it's actually, there's some shapes here, but this was a digi that I bought a long time ago from Adamo prints, but they're like magazine covers from Germany. There was a lot of nudity in that kit. It was like a lot of weird old, they were magazine covers and they're vintage, but I'm going to use her for Grant Yourself Grace because I think she's perfect for that. And the two will still show behind there, and I'll add some gel print to her. So these can be as artsy or, use your scrapbook paper, use up your stuff, right?
Right? Okay, I have a request.
Okay.
All right. Sharon, you remember I already showed you a sheet I printed out of women from magazine covers, right?
Yeah.
You remember
Yeah, and
seeing
they
it?
are amazing. You did
Okay.
such a good job.
Do you want to put me on screen?
I do. I will.
I turn the light on so I can have a little more light. So here's the sheet I printed out, and these are all from old magazine covers, like the American Woman. Some of them I've edited out. I've, put it in Photoshop and taken any writing off the picture. Some of them I left it just as I found it. These are from the 1800s, most of them, early 1900s. They're all copyright free, I promise you. And what I would like to know is 5, 10, 15, 20. There's 20 of them here. And what I would like to know is if I could make this a file and post it in Makers, and anybody that wants it is welcome to download it and print it out and use it any way they want. And
I think it's wonderful.
I would want Mariah's permission to do that. And if not in there, then I would do it in my group. And because they're copyright free, anybody can take them and do whatever they want with them, color them or enlarge them or shrink them or, put them in Photoshop if they do that and do whatever they want. But I promise you, they are all copyright free.
Why don't you put them in both and offer them up as a Oracle card for anybody that wants a quickie too? Yeah, so I said that.
If that's okay with Mariah, she might be busy right at the moment. I don't see a response, but
okay, so what if I've got these tissues here.
Because they fit right on these cards.
Use
so perfect size.
They really are.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You might want to cover up the words if you're going to do that. But that's easily done.
Thank you, Mariah. I can do that.
Good night, Xandra. Thank you so much for being here.
Oh, good night, Xandra. Oh, so glad you were here.
Please post them in the Art of the Streams or Makers of Mixed Media Art and Artists, or both. And share with us what you've planned. If you want to share your personal journey, you don't have to share. I mean, if you want to make them and not share, that's fine too.
Okay.
I'm going to put it back over on both of us. How's that sound? So I'm going to do one more here for tonight.
Well, if you're going to do one more, we want to see your plate, so you have to take me off.
All right.
Can't see you enough. We need to see you. There you go.
Well, I mean.
Otherwise, I'm sticking my nose up to the screen. I'm telling you, I got nose prints on my screen that don't belong there.
So
I'm starting to feel like a dog on a car ride. I tell you what.
Do you have a big screen? Is your screen large or?
Oh yeah, it's a pretty good size. It had to be for work, so it's. I don't know to measure it, but it's.
I'm picturing.
And I can turn it long ways, or I can turn it vertical. So you can be long and tall, or you know,
Can I be
yeah,
tall? Will you
yeah.
make me tall?
You can
Please
do
make
whatever
me
you
tall.
want. You have the power.
Hey, that's a good idea, Mariah. A unique hashtag for our cards. How about um just a sec. I know that I know this because I have all those lovely notes, and there was a phrase that was ringing true with me, and that was a journey of mindfulness. So, how about mindfulness cards? How do we feel about that? Hashtag mindfulness
I
cards?
kind of, well, I like that, but I also like what you have at the title where it says making oracle.
Hashtag making oracle?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Hashtag.
Think
Well,
about
if
it.
we just put in oracle cards, we're going to get a lot of others, which might be okay.
Yeah.
But only if we're ready to share outside in the world,
Think about it.
So let me
Yep.
think about it, and when I post these, I will come up with the right tag, and then you guys can tag me, or you can tag me on Instagram, and I'll see them. How's that sound?
Okie dokie pokey.
Okie dokie.
You know what? You still have me on screen,
Oh
and
gosh, I'm sorry.
solo, not escape. There you go. Look at you. You're getting all professional. Now you have me on big screen, not you. Mm-hmm. We'll just sit here and watch me while you do stuff.
Okay, there we go.
Ta-da! Ta-da, ta-da, ta-da. So
Yeah.
yes, you should put something
Okay.
TJ so you can own the hashtag.
Like TJ discovery cards. There we go.
Think
Maybe
on
that.
it.
I don't know. I'll think
Yeah.
about it and put it up when I post these. How's that?
Great idea, Mariah.
Thank you, Mariah, for that. Okay, so I'm choosing a moment on here. One way you might do that.
Hi, Brad.
Hey, Brad. We're
Look
so
at
honored
that.
that you're here. Seriously, thank you.
Did you read what he posted?
You got this. You got.
You
Oh,
got this. You got this. Look
no,
at
it says that
that.
on my phone when I open it up. You know
Aw.
that, Brad? How did you know that? That's crazy. Oh, I'm all about the marketing. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, I know. And right now my brain's not on, so I didn't even go in and push this event today because I just was trudging through sand,
We're
quicksand.
getting there. We're getting you
Yeah,
there. It will, you
I am.
physical is important. So we're getting
Yeah,
there. We've had our talk, and
yep.
we're taking the steps to get you there.
Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it, and I appreciate your patience because I know we wanted to start this sooner.
And everybody's knows what what COVID is about. So
Yeah.
everybody understands.
Yeah, you guys are great. I don't know what I'd do without my friends here. I'm just gonna slap that down. Slap that puppy down. So I was gonna tell you, you should make yourself, if you're gonna use those, make yourself a frame that frames out if you get confused when you start looking at the whole thing.
Exactly.
That way you can decide where you want to cut.
Well, and that's what I said about these sheets. And watching Patricia the other day when she's been using the pencils to mark out, it's like I look at these sheets that I just showed you guys. These are my crappy sheets. These are the sheets I did not love. But when you said let's do this, I turned around and looked at them, and I made a block, a frame, the size I wanted, and I looked at them differently. And then I saw what I wanted, and I went, well, now they're not so bad after all, are they? As as a whole, it's overwhelming, ugly. But there's bits and pieces here that actually are usable.
So I cut that, but later after the glue dries, I will go in and tear off some of the corners, like, so that kind of shows through, like right there. I didn't cover the card with the Uhu stick. I just did it in spots, and then I'll take sandpaper to the edges.
Susan has a question.
Okay.
Regarding the hashtags and the cards. Are these all ATC size?
They are any size you choose.
Exactly.
So, like, if you want to go out and get yourself a giant, if you want to make your own cards, make your own cards. Make sure that they are flat, shuffleable, or at least, you know, toss back and forth shuffleable. So they should be smooth, which I know is hard for a texture person like me. It is hard. And then you can make them any shape you want. They could be round. Think of playing cards. They come in all different shapes and sizes. I was looking for the giant. Oh, right here. I have this giant playing card here. Like, you could use something like that. And it gives you more workspace too to do it like that. This is where I just took the PM Artist Studio gear stencil. I put it down and I let that show through. And I would just use this as an example.
Yeah.
And then wrote, list 3 things you love. Because, you know, it's like do 5 things, list 3 things, you know, all of those things that work for me, you know.
So
Like,
the card could be any size, whatever size
right.
you're comfortable with making. But the thing is you really want them all to be the same size because you're going to use them like cards and shuffle them and mix them up.
Right.
So Liz says, Violet, I made a stencil to frame out what I wanted, made it so much easier. Yes, it really is. It's a tip I learned from quilting, and can use the same frame. You're going to find this really odd, but you can use the same frame. Hold that frame up and look across the room. Look at a corner in your living room. Go outside and look at, just point it somewhere and just look at what's in that frame and look at shapes and look at design and look at what could be
I love that.
texture. And then transfer that idea to paper or paint or whatever you're doing.
Like a painter looks at, you know, the world through the same way. If they're a landscape painter, they might look at their thumb for reference and size, and they
Like
might hold a frame up to see where the landscape they want to paint. It's the
or
same.
like a filmmaker will put his, you know,
Yes.
hands together to make a rectangle, and he will look through that to see his shots.
I love that.
And do it like that. I learned this from a quilting class, and do it like that and look at, you don't have to see it as what you see, like pointed at your sofa or the corner of your sofa. You don't have to see
Just
that.
see the pattern. Yeah.
See the pattern, see the shape, see the outline, and apply that. It's really an interesting way to do it. I love that.
I
really
do
love that.
art photography like that. I've always taken real close-up shots of things where you have to question, what is that texture? What is that? What is that I'm looking at? I don't know what that is, you know, like looking under a microscope almost. I like that. It creates textures that I want to play with, you know, or paint. Or I had a painting that I lost. It got left behind when I moved, and I knew where it was, and I made a mental note to take it, and I forgot to go back and get it. And it was a picture of the inside of my closet. Like when you open the closet, it wasn't literally my closet, but it was on a piece of found metal. And it wasn't rusty yet, but I'm sure, you know, it would have eventually. But it was flat and it was wide and long. And what I did was I painted all these different sleeves in different lengths, and I did I painted a different texture on each one, like with a paintbrush, like physical, not like texture paste and a stencil, but like created all these crazy textures that looked really visually deep on each different one. And if I hadn't said to you, oh, that's a picture of the inside of my closet, you would have said, oh my gosh, what is this? You know, what am I looking at here? Because it was like how your sleeves hang down. That was the inspiration for it. And I it was like not real fabrics. You know what I mean? Like different.
Mm-hmm. Susan has a suggestion for the hashtag.
Okay.
Hashtag inspirational arty cards. I kind of like that one.
I do too. Let me think about it.
Inspirational oracle cards, inspirational arty cards. I like it. I do like it.
Or art discovery cards. Arty
Mm,
discovery. Hashtag arty discovery cards. I think it's all still too long. I'll work on it though. I'm going to write it. I decided that I want it smaller and I want to go all the way maybe around her dress because I left an edge here to
yeah.
do that with. So
Oh,
I'm
good
just going
one,
to write
Anne.
it.
Anne says discover art card.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. That's right up there. There you go. All kinds of ideas going on. Thank you, everyone. Brad even says that would work.
So as we're starting to wind things up here today, because we go for 2 hours, I'd like to thank everybody that's here.
Mm-hmm.
And don't stop in the middle of the word like I just did. I had to
Okay.
stop and
So you
read
go
it.
ahead and write because you're busy, and I'm gonna say some names. We're
Okay.
gonna start with, well, Xandra isn't here now, and Diane isn't here now, but we wanted to thank them, and Evie and Penny and Janet. Thank you so much, Janet, and Ann Lover and Susan Dufresne. And let's see, scrolling down, Mariah and Liz, thank you. And Brad, thank you. And let's see, Patricia and Van aren't here, but we're thinking of them.
We are.
So taking good thoughts for them. Did I get everybody? Did I miss any? Oh, Gigi, I missed Gigi. So to
Did we get
Gigi
Margalo?
and Margalo. I can't go up any farther, so there's that
It's
problem.
okay.
But yeah, you're remembering, so that's all right.
We appreciate each of you. I really
Yeah.
appreciate that you guys have been Carolyn, so excited to do this with me. And or if you're new, if you found my channel today, and I hope that you take this journey and come and post online and share on my
Oh,
Instagram
absolutely.
when I get a hashtag posted. So I'll post
Come,
it on Instagram so that you see the hashtag. And I'll make sure that my Instagram
yes.
information is in the video description. Okay.
Yeah. And if you're not part of Makers, I did post the link. Join Makers, answer those simple questions, or Mariah won't let you in, I promise.
Yeah.
And
We
the
like
other
that.
thing, Mariah, just so you know, Penny had an interest in your stencils. We told her all about them. We posted the
Mhm.
links and we told her to go over there. And in the comments, whatever she orders, she's supposed to tell you she wants the bits and the
Yes.
little leftovers, and if she remembers. So Penny, what's Penny's last name?
I
Penny Kitzmiller. So if you get something from Penny, we sent her over there, just so you know.
Yeah, you guys are all amazing. Thank you. And
Yes.
Brad, thank you. You're just it's truly an honor when a husband shows up. That's something special.
Yeah.
And your husband is there too, isn't he, Violet? I
Yeah.
sent mine out of the house.
Oh no, no. I actually managed to get another computer. I found an old computer, got it booted up and running. So I'm at the dining room table, but we have an
Oh,
open floor plan, and he's sitting at the other end of the room with the headphones on, watching um, something on TV. He's usually
oh,
playing golf on Xbox, but he's watching. He can hear me if I wave and say a dirty word. He'll know I'm talking to
start to
him.
say his name.
He might.
Say something sexy.
Hey you. Hey you.
Yeah, that's sexy. Here's the other thing that I will have in my box is just, the markers I don't use all the time. There's some metallic markers in here. There's, an ink pen, just, a few odds and ends and bits to keep with me in case I want to sit and doodle. So I'm going to probably end up doodling on this with some gold pens, and this one I believe is done. And here's the ones that I had before. So, and that one I did today. So I'm glad you all got to join us. Thank you, Violet, for being such an awesome super mod.
You're welcome.
Appreciate that. Goodness, Brad is in agreement on that. On comments
about the hey you and whatever I call them. I think whatever I said, all that.
Yeah.
Hey you, dude, quit chewing on your fingernails.
Oh, Mariah said get on those orders tonight because they're leaving for their cruise. So if you're going to do it now.
Yes. Otherwise, you're going to have to wait a week or whenever. Until they get back before you order. Now she's real quick about getting her orders out, but you've got today, and I think you're pushing it if you wait till tomorrow. Otherwise, you got to wait for till they come back.
And you guys have fun on your cruise. It's going to be so good. Seriously, it's going to be a blast. And I love Carnival.
They're going to be keeping Izzy safe. That's what they're going to do. They're going to be keeping Izzy
from. Be good.
Yep, I know she will.
They have childcare on that boat. You'll love the disco.
And if you can, Mariah, if you get an update about Van later, I'd really, really like to know how he's doing.
I'm sure everybody would because
not a priority, but I'd really like to know. You take care of you first, okay? So with that,
yes, thank you, and we will see you on Facebook and on Instagram, and I will get something posted for y'all to see. Okay.
Yes. Wonderful.
Thank you, Violet. You're the most awesomest mod in the world.
Love you right back. Bye, everybody.
Mwah. Bye, guys.
Yes.